Hey, good morning, everyone. And we just want to welcome you to another beautiful day in our neighborhood, Marriage Built to Last.
I like
We are
that.
the founders of Marriage Built to Last and your host. I'm James Green, and this lovely lady here is
Cynthia Green, his beautiful wife.
and we just want to welcome you today. You know, we've been talking a lot about how to keep the marriage fresh, how to make sure you stay in love, how to do all those things. And we done gave you 9. So today actually is the last 3 that we're going to give you.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great morning, off to a great start. This is actually a beautiful day here in Maryland. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go outside. We're leaving to run errands when we get off this show this morning. So I'm excited to go outside in the sunshine. I've been trying to get my 5 minutes of vitamin D from the sun every day. So I'll go stand out in my front yard or on my front porch and lift my face to the sun and get my vitamin D. But I do put on my sunblock. I want to make sure I say that. So you guys, first of all, we need you to hit the share button, okay? You know, we ask you every week to hit the share button because the things we talk about, they're important and somebody really, truly needs it. And we never know who that person is. Not that they've got a troubled marriage, but, you know, maybe they just been trying to figure out how to get some things in order or get back on track. And so these tips that we're giving will truly help someone.
Right. And when we drop these nuggets, sometimes, you know, people just take some of the small things from it. You don't have to actually take them, say, at word for word, but you can take them and incorporate some other things that are similar into your marriage, into your relationship to make your relationship or marriage even better.
Right. So, babe, I hope you're prepared for your joke of the day, but that's going to be part of today's. That's going to be part of today's session. So, yeah, you need to get ready with that. So, you guys, we have been talking about the 12 habits of couples who are madly in love. And my husband doesn't like the term madly in love. He just says the 12 habits of couples who are in love or want to stay in love. Right. Same thing.
Or to build on that love. Yes, I don't like to use madly in love.
Well, I'm madly in love, so I can use that term. Maybe he's not madly in love. I don't know. Maybe that's a Cynthia term, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We love each other, right, baby? Mm-hmm. Sorry. So, but anyway, so we're going to give you the final 3 habits that couples who are in love, want to be in love, want to stay in love today, and then we're going to give you all 12 so you know what all 12 are. We've been talking about this for the past 4 weeks. It's a new month, March, and I want to tell you our March theme. We're not going to be able to talk about our March topic this month, so every month we're going to bring you a topic. So March topic is Our Marriages Matter, right? And we came up with that because we used to do a conference every year called Black Marriages Matter, because there's a holiday in the month of March called Black Marriage Day. So what we do now is we do a Zoom. I'm sorry, not a Zoom. We do a online workshop, webinar, or live show on Black Marriage Day, and give you some, good content and information on that particular day, just to celebrate our marriages, right? Black Marriage Day. Come on, y'all. So, but we'll talk about that the next 3 weekends in March, about how our marriages matter in the family, within our friends and family, within the community, and with each other. So our marriages do matter. It makes a difference. They make a difference. So today, the final 3 habits of couples in love are: they celebrate milestones together, they laugh together, and the most important one is they communicate openly and honestly. So let's go with the very first one, right? So the first one, or I say this number 9, 10, 11, 12. No, number 10. The 10th habit is they celebrate milestones together. Now, what does that mean? It means that they celebrate special moments. And we don't just mean like holidays. So, one day James posted something on Facebook that we were celebrating. I don't know. It might have even been a holiday like Valentine's Day or something. And someone who gets on Facebook and they preach the Bible, they said, that's not in the Bible. God never told us we had to celebrate that day. Well, God didn't tell us we had to celebrate a whole lot of days, including Christmas, his birthday, right? But we do. We do. But in the Bible, God did celebrate all kinds of milestones. When they crossed the Jordan River, he told them to put down stones to mark that day's events. When they crossed something else and did some other things, he would tell them to put down rocks to memorialize that space or that moment, that time. You know, he had them create the 12 commandments because he wanted what Moses told them. He wanted the people to be able to remember it. Those are milestones. Those are moments in time that he had the people to come together to celebrate. They had celebrations and festivities and all kinds of things in the Bible. And Jesus was right there with them. When they were in the upper room, was that not a celebration? That was a moment in time that we still recognize to this day. So whether it's Valentine's Day, whether it's your anniversary, maybe it's just the Cynthia and James Day that you want to celebrate. Whatever it is, don't ever let anybody tell you how to celebrate or live your life or make your marriage great. Because when you come together to celebrate things with your spouse, it's putting those happy moments in your life, those celebratory moments. Because we know that when troubles come up, we're trying to figure it out, how to figure out, get this, get out of this situation, handle this. But where are the happy moments? Where are the happy celebrations? I'm sorry.
Right,
He let me rant.
And see, I like it because you're not only celebrating, say milestones and things, that you're celebrating each other. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And for me, where does it start? It starts with your vision, and vision comes to fruition when you start setting goals. So when you start setting goals, because you have a vision, say, for example, you have a vision for your marriage, for your relationship, where you want to be, where do you want to go? So you set goals. And once you set those goals, even though you may not reach that goal right away, you celebrate those milestones leading to that goal. If you accomplish something, if you have a goal and you accomplish something leading up to that final goal, you celebrate it. There's nothing wrong with that. What that does is it brings you closer together, because now you're celebrating each other. Because when you start setting those goals, each party has a role to play in a relationship to reach that goal. So when you celebrate one person reaching one of those milestones in that goal, you celebrate it. That's celebrating each other, because you're celebrating, what you've reached. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really love, because that's what I really love, because you're celebrating your accomplishments, where you're going, what you're doing, how you're doing them, how you're accomplishing them, and each other.
So one thing James and I do is every year in January, we have vision and goals parties. We have couples set a vision for their marriage, either for the year or just one in general for their marriage. Then we help them set their goals for that year. And then we take one of those goals and we help them create strategies on how to reach those goals. We work with the couple, but the couple is really creating these things themselves. And so like James said, say for instance, I have a goal to, speak on such and such stage. Well, when I do that, James is going to be right there in the audience cheering me on, right? So those are the kind of celebrations we're talking about when James is talking about celebrating each other's milestones, celebrating each other's accomplishments. Like I got an award last year in September. My husband was right there cheering me on, taking pictures, celebrating with me. Right. It was a time to celebrate.
And you can go out to dinner after that, and it gives you some alone time, because what you're doing is you're celebrating what you achieved.
And you're still creating memories.
And that's what I like, because as time goes on, you can look back and say, oh, remember when we did this? Remember when we celebrated this? Because I know for Cynthia, okay, we always celebrate what she calls our date-iversary.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This isn't a holiday. This isn't
it's the day that we went on our first date. That's our date-iversary.
And what we try to do is do something similar to maybe what we did on our first date.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
So see, we what you're doing is you're creating habits
and memories.
So when you have those habits
and traditions,
right?
Don't get that word traditions.
I was gonna say those habits lead to traditions. You didn't give me a chance.
Right. I'm sorry.
Those habits lead to tradition, because if you do it, say every year, at the same time on the same day, then that becomes a tradition. Well, and then you look forward to it. Then you're gonna say, well, Aren't we going out? Aren't we doing this? Aren't we going here? We do it every year.
That's right.
For example, you could say you go see the cherry blossoms every year. So when they come, no matter when it is, are we going to see cherry blossoms? We do it every year. Why stop now? Because it's a tradition now, because you made it a habit of doing it every year and it became a tradition.
And let's just, break it down a little further too. Companies celebrate milestones. They celebrate when they've been in business 20
That's
years, 100 years. Companies celebrate when you've been with them a certain amount of times. Companies celebrate when they reach a certain money milestone.
Right. Look,
they some of them give you bonuses because,
Speaking of money, you remember how, I don't know if they still do this. Back in the day, if a company starts and they make their first dollar, they frame it and put it on the wall.
That's right.
Because that's the first dollar.
Yes,
they're celebrating their first dollar.
Do that.
They're celebrating the first dollar they made.
That's right. In the black.
Right.
In the black. Because you could be making money, but you got so many expenses that
and you're putting it back into the company.
You're putting it back into the company.
Right.
So, but and then I also think about when companies make a certain amount of get to a certain money milestone, financial milestone, they give out bonuses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They celebrate their people, they celebrate themselves, they give out promotions. So come on, you guys, don't feel like you shouldn't celebrate things together. That means you're just living a life. If you're not celebrating milestones and different things, that traditions and holidays and special occasions within your marriage, and that's when you just start focusing on all the negatives. You're fussing and you're fighting over this is going on, that's going on. Where's the joy? Where's the happiness? Which is getting ready to lead into our next topic. But
and I was gonna say, if businesses do it, if corporations do it, why not people do it as a relationship or marriage? Why not? Because all it is people say that when you get married, it's like you're entering into a business. You're entering into a joint venture.
Right.
So if you want to treat it like that, why not celebrate those things?
Right. And then, like James said, we're in this world, but we're not of this world. Right. And so we're not trying to do it because the world does it, but the Bible does it too. So if you're spiritual and you're following the Bible, they celebrated in the Bible. They really did. They had I should have had some of the names of some of the festivities that they had, because it's not coming to me right now at the moment, but you guys know some of them. But y'all, these create joyous moments, happy moments. And this leads into number 11, which is couples who create habits that make them stay in love and build their marriage and their relationship. They laugh together every day, right? So laughing together doesn't mean you got to make each other laugh. Right. You got to tell a joke. You got to do something funny. But humor is a really important element of a lasting relationship. He sure was. God told some jokes. Sometimes when people ask him the question, he would turn around and give them like almost like a smart remark, right? Like, don't you know?
And this led to, I think, maybe the first one of the first ones we talked about was having fun together.
Right.
When you start having fun together, it allows you to laugh, because I always say it's better to be laughing than crying. So if you're laughing in your relationship, isn't that better than crying, having heartache, having pain, having trouble? So when you're laughing, that means it's happier times. You're doing good. You're happy. You're having fun.
And when you learn to laugh together and have fun together, when different things come up, you can easily kind of turn that into, what they say, turn lemons into lemonade, right? You can turn that around and be like, a couple of days later, or maybe that same day, you know what, babe, when we were arguing about such and such, that was just hilarious. We could have resolved that thing in seconds. And here we are going tit for tat, toe to toe, and it wasn't even that serious.
And I think we talked about that, about the library, when we were trying to go to the library. See, and now we laugh about it. And that's the thing. She said, turn lemon into lemonade, turn lime into limeade. I don't know. But whatever it is, you have fun. You do it together.
Right.
You laugh together. There's nothing wrong with, say, on a date night, say, if you want to say Netflix and chill, as they say, get a comedy. Laugh together. Because I know Cynthia and I laugh together all the time, because there was a time
because he's funny.
There was a time when she wasn't that humorous.
Oh, Lord.
We'd look at a movie and it was just a funny movie and she wouldn't laugh. And I'm like, wasn't that funny? That couldn't happen in real life. It's just a movie. Laugh. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with laughing. There's nothing wrong with looking at funny videos and looking at them together and laughing.
Right.
You know?
So let's
Bring
just talk
some
about
joy.
why laughter and fun is important in the marriage.
Right.
Because laughter relieves stress. It's a proven fact. It's not a James and Cynthia fact, it's a proven fact. And it strengthens your emotional connection,
That's
right?
right.
So if you're laughing together, then you're not fussing and fighting.
So crying, like I say, I just put that
right,
in crying.
exactly, right. And
If you're laughing, you're not crying.
right. And so you're having a different type of connection with one another.
Yep.
Just think about when you're with your girlfriends or your male friends and you're out and boy, y'all are talking smack and you're laughing and just having fun. You want that same fun in your marriage.
That's right.
I tell people all the time, we can all have such amazing marriages. It is not that hard to have a great marriage.
That's right.
What are you incorporating into your marriage to make sure that it's fun, that is lively, that is alive, that is growing, that is effective, that is moving forward? What are you doing? Just share with us some of the things that you're doing to make sure that your marriage is a happy, healthy marriage. You know, James likes to tell jokes. He don't think he's telling jokes, but I think he's telling jokes.
I'm not telling jokes.
You don't have a joke today?
I have one. I don't know if I said it before.
All right, well, go ahead and tell us your joke now.
I don't write down jokes. I might have said this one before. How many tickles does it take for an octopus to laugh?
Okay.
If you want an octopus, if you want an octopus to laugh, how many tickles does it take? You know how we always tickle each other. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
I don't know. But to give you some tips on or some ideas on having laughter in your family, sometimes I'll tell James, I'm tired of watching all of these shoot 'em up, bang bang movies. Let's watch a comedy. Let's watch something funny. Sometimes you could watch a funny video. So James he loves to watch videos on his phone, and so sometimes he's like, "Come over here, babe, and see this." So we'll watch a funny video or just some crazy video, and we're both like or laughing and joking about it. Sometimes it's about teasing one another. You know, like James said, tickling. Now he's ticklish. I'm not ticklish, so he can try to tickle me all day long. I am pretty much not going to laugh. But laughter is a language that we all can speak. They say a smile. Do you know that smiling burns energy because you know you're stretching your face? That smiling helps your face to stay youthful.
Laughter is good for the soul.
Laughter is good medicine. They said it's good for the soul and it's good medicine. All right, so let's lead into our final one, which is couples that have a great relationship. They know how to communicate openly and honestly. Right. Talking about communication is like one of James and our favorite subject. We have a whole workshop called the 7 Principles of Communication. We've taught this course online. I didn't say successful. What did I say?
7 Principles of Successful Communication. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Yes, 7 Principles of Successful Communication. We've taught this from the stage. We've taught this in small groups. We've taught this at church events. Like, it is one of our favorite subjects to talk about because communication is the key to everything. Right. How can you laugh together if you're not communicating, if you're not talking, if you're not spending time together? How can you communicate if you're not going out on dates? How can you communicate? How can you celebrate milestones if you're not going on dates? How can you embrace change if you're not talking about it and sharing how you feel about it? So honesty and open communication is the heart of lasting love.
Right.
It's the thing it's the glue that holds you together. Couples who stay madly in love over decades, they share everything. Like I tell James all the time, I be trying to think, is there anything that I didn't tell James about me, about my life, about the last few days? If I haven't I try to share everything. Even when we were having the disagreement a couple of weeks ago about going to the library or not, I tried not to talk to him. So within like a couple of hours of trying not to talk to him, all this stuff was happening that I'm seeing on my phone or seeing on TV, or I'm on the phone talking to somebody and I want to share with my husband, but because I'm trying to have an attitude, I wasn't sharing it. Right. Because we talk about everything. We share everything.
And she was trying not to talk to me and be mad and end up finding out that it was her own fault. See what I'm saying?
We're not rehashing that conversation.
But communication is the key because you talk about what ruins a marriage or a relationship. Communication intimacy or sex, and finances.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it, those are the things you have to talk about. How does intimacy ruin a relationship? You're not talking about what you like, how you like it, what you want, when you want it. You're not talking about those things. When you talk about finances, you talk about spending. Do you talk about it?
Saving.
Right. You talk about maybe who's better at, handling the finances. You may have someone that's a saver and someone that's a spender. So who better to handle the finances? Maybe the saver. And that's what we're talking about. Those are the things you have to talk about. So when you talk about things that ruin a marriage, it all boils down to the communication piece, talking about everything. Just like, Cindy and I, we talk about everything. That even goes with phones. We know some couples that, they don't have a password to my phone, or let me open my phone for you if you want to use it. Why?
Well, why do you want to use my
because
phone?
Because all that does is lead to perception that you may be hiding something. Mm-hmm. And that opens up conversation, but bad conversation.
Right.
That's why it's always good to communicate openly and honestly with everything. Which way, when you talk about building trust in a marriage, building trust in a relationship, how do you build that trust? By talking about everything, by letting the other person know, this is me, I'm an open book. There's nothing I'm not afraid to talk about. You want to know about, like Cynthia said, my past, anything, what's going on, just ask. Yep. I have nothing to hide, but it takes a conversation, because we say, I'm sorry, babe, when you get married and now, you're building that relationship together, right? Mm-hmm. When you talk about communicating, you got to let the other person know. It's to build you up. Even when marriage is like taking a step forward, like getting a promotion. Mm-hmm. But when that person helps you, because that's why you call them your helpmeet, when they help you, you can't get an attitude. All they're trying to do is bring it to your attention what they may like, what they may not like, what they may want, what they may not want, and they're helping you to learn them. And the only way to do that is to communicate, is to talk about, well, baby, I don't like this. Because even when people start growing older together, they evolve, things change. You got to let them know, well, I used to like this. Well, I don't like this anymore. Well, what I didn't like before, I like it now. But it takes a conversation. It takes that communication openly and honestly to help you to grow and move forward.
We were on Fox 5 recently, and she brought up the interviewer, Tisha Lewis from Fox 5 News, brought up about, we mentioned communication. She said people use that word communication, but that's so broad. What does it really mean?
Right.
And for us, especially in a marriage, especially in a serious relationship, communication means that you can express yourself freely without judgment. Like, you should be able to share your heart with your spouse.
I was going to say, and that means sometimes you need to be vulnerable. I know some men say, I'm not sharing that because it'll make me vulnerable. It'll show my weakness. But that's what you want your spouse to know.
You should be able to show that with your spouse.
Show them that you can be vulnerable. Show them your weaknesses, because they're there to help you, not to hurt you.
And honestly, that's what makes a woman feel connected to a man who can really talk to her and tell her how he's really feeling, what he's thinking, what he wants, what he doesn't want. But when you don't communicate with the woman, we feel like you're shutting us out. You're keeping us at a distance. You've got this wall built up that we can't break through. We counsel couples all the time that's going through that. But when you can express yourself freely, you can have healthy conflict resolution. Mm-hmm. You won't have the fussing and fighting that a lot of couples have, or that you used to have. When you learn how to handle difficult conversations and don't shy away from them and actually talk to one another about things that you're feeling some type of way about, it creates unity in the relationship. It creates closeness. It creates an open environment for you to share and for you to feel comfortable about, and it grows you two closer together.
And also, you talk about, we hear couples say, well, we don't communicate anymore. We don't know how to communicate. And the key is, and I don't know if we explain this on the show, where you have to have the right atmosphere. You have to have the right time.
That's right.
It has to come from a place of love. Like if say I come home from work and I've been working hard, you don't know the kind of day I had at work. You don't know how stressful it was. And here I come home, here you are bombarding me, wanting to talk with all these questions, all these things you want to say. Give me a minute. Maybe that's not the right time. Maybe that's not the right setting. You know, you have to pick the right time, have the right atmosphere, and make it come from a place of love. You can't just bombard a person with all this talk when they're not prepared.
That's true.
You can actually even go to him or her early and say, look, you know, when you get some time, I'd like to talk about this. So they're prepared now. They know when that time comes, that has to be a conversation, you know, a conversation piece. It has to be talked about, because now your mate is ready to talk about it, and they gave you a heads up. You know, when you have time, when the time is right, we need to talk about this. Sometimes it may be going out to dinner, because now you're in a table, you're in a booth, and it's just the two of you with people around. You're not going to get loud. You talk in a calm manner, and that will definitely come from a place of love.
Right.
So just remember those things when it comes time to have communication, especially harder topics.
So for the past 4 weeks, 4 Saturdays, we've given you 12 habits. So I'm just going to read them all off of what each one was. So we talked about they prioritize each other's happiness.
Mm-hmm.
They have fun together. And we talked about date night on that one. They don't let small grudges fester. They don't hold on to grudges.
Wait, I'm sorry. And I was going to say that's what was on my mind. Letting that fester, talking about the communication. You have to have those conversations, because if you let it build up, now all the small things are turning into big things because you're letting it build.
There you go. They maintain physical affection, and we talked about public displays of affection. Doesn't mean that it's out in the street. You can have PDAs at home. They make time for intimacy, and intimacy is snuggling, spending time together, not just sex, right? They don't stop showing appreciation. Show your gratitude for your spouse. They respect each other's space. You know, some couples just need their time alone, but time alone doesn't mean that you're shutting your spouse out.
Right.
They continue to grow together. They embrace change together. That's so important, because y'all, we shouldn't be staying the same 5 years from now, 20 years from now that we were
going somewhere
before. And they celebrate milestones together. They laugh together every day. They find something humorous or something to share that's a little, you know, joyful. And then they communicate openly and honestly. These 12 habits help you build a lasting love. It helps couples maintain that spark in their relationship for decades, for years, forever, actually, when they share more than just a history together. Marriage is not just about how many years you've been married, that you stayed together. It's about creating a lifestyle around your relationship that supports your connection. It supports respect and understanding and sharing.
And let me just say, you don't have to do all of them at one time.
Oh no, but these are like daily habits. These things come natural. We do this stuff daily.
But just think, if you take 2 or 3
to build on each day. Don't think you got to do it all at one time. You're right.
To build on, and then use another 2 or 3. Now these become daily habits, what we talked about, and these daily habits turn into traditions, and then that's how they just become common. Right. It's just something you do every day.
And let me just go back. So when I think about these daily habits, okay, we communicate openly and honestly. We created that atmosphere before we got married, right? We do laugh together every day. There's always something funny, but we don't do it on purpose. We don't make it happen. But if you don't laugh every day, you know, most days, all right, we celebrate milestones. Oh my God, we celebrate the little things. And it don't mean we got to go out to dinner or do something big. It could be just talking about it. It could just be congratulating one another. Or I see you, babe. I see what you're doing. They embrace change together. So if something happens, God forbid somebody lose their job, you got to talk about how you would handle that. With all these layoffs, we've been talking about, you know, how we would handle that if something were to change as far as our income in the household. They continue to grow together. We're always growing together. And what does that look like for us, babe? How are we growing together? By just talking about things and talking about our future. We set goals, and then they respect each other's space.
We have a vision where we want to be and what we want to do.
They respect each other's space. So my husband knows I'm way more social than him. So if I'm going out to a social event, I let him know well in advance, because if I tell him last minute, he's like, what? You're going again? But if he already knows I'm going, His mindset is prepared. Okay, he loves spending me being home. All right with him. All right. We never stop showing appreciation. Thank them for the little things. I sometimes like this. Oh, like this morning, I told Jay, I said, babe, I love when I come in the kitchen and the sink is clean because he's the dishwasher, right? The pot washer. And so he washed the dishes yesterday. I love it when the sink is not full of dirty pots or dirty dishes. They make time for intimacy. You guys, ladies, don't wait around for your man to show you intimacy. When I need my snuggle time from James, I'll do like I'm doing now. I'll come sit next to him. I'll slide over in the bed and get up against the back of him or spoon and get in the front of him. Whatever it is, find your intimacy. Physical affection, that's not a problem. I mean, most of us are getting some type of physical affection, but if you're not, you initiate that.
Mm-hmm.
Not holding small grudges. That means if you're communicating and you're telling them why you're feeling some type of way, then that's how you get over it. Don't be afraid to say, I'm sorry. That small grudge thing got a lot to do with just simply saying, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean that for you to take it that way. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. Having fun together doesn't mean you got to go somewhere and do something. We have fun together doing this show because we laughing and talking, and I'm hearing things James saying. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you feel. But and then they prioritize each other's happiness. And that just means that if I've got, I'll just use James for an example. He has a hobby, playing his drums. And so I don't complain about the noise when he goes down there to practice because that's what he needs to do. I prioritize him being able to do the things that he wants to do in life. So these things are not hard to do. But when you, like James said, take one or two a day, they will become habits. They'll be a natural part of your everyday life. They'll be a natural part of your relationship. You're making sure that you are doing the positive things as well as the negative. So many people get caught up in the negative, and I give you a great example. You get caught up that my wife is always yelling at me and saying negative things, right? Well, why is she yelling at you and saying negative things? How often do you hug her, touch her, say, baby, I love you. Baby, you look so nice today. If you're speaking life into her and nice things, she probably won't yell at you and say mean things, right? You got to create build a strong foundation for your relationship that lasts a lifetime. And we can't make these things up. If we can do it, you can do it. We didn't purposely do these things. We created that atmosphere. Matter of fact, we did it before we got married. We built the foundation before we got married. And that's how Marriage Built to Last came about, like for real. Because we built it. Now we help other couples build it. And we know that it works if you use the tools. So remember, small everyday actions are what counts the most. Small everyday actions. And what's the answer to your joke, babe?
What was the joke? Oh, how many tickles does it take to make octopus laugh? The answer is tentacles. Get it? 10 tickles, tentacles. Do they have 10 tentacles on them? Or that's just the name of their legs, or whatever it is, their tentacles. I don't know. Is it the octopus got them things? Those are tentacles, right? Yes.
Okay, so he's saying 10 TEN tentacles instead of TI. How do you spell tentacles? TEN. Okay.
Forget it. Y'all get it. See what I'm saying?
I'm terrible about getting jokes. See, he can tell a joke, and it take me a minute to catch on. I'm first to admit I'm slow about catching a joke. But you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Be on the lookout for the things that we have coming up. We want you to join our Couples Academy. It's fun. I tell people all the time, we have to get clear on who our audience is and who our programs are for. We're not looking for the toe down, broken up marriages where people are got all this sleeping around on each other, going online, cussing, stealing, crazy marriages. We're looking for couples who have good marriages, great marriages, okay marriages, couples who want their marriage to be a little bit better. And so we have a couples academies where we help you with those things, where we come together as one and we support one another. So our In Love and Loving It Couples Academy is one of the ways we can help you. And if you're a couple who's in business or ministry together, we have our Global Marriage Relationship Leaders Mastermind, right? Global Relationship Leaders Mastermind. If you work with people in your business and you want to learn how to build the relationships with the people that you work with, that you minister to, join our mastermind. We're going to help you build your business and help you know how to have better relationships. And better relationships is how we grow, connect with people, and how people want to work with us and be a part of what we're doing. So remember, if you build it, it will last. God bless you guys.
We'll see you next time.
And have a great day.
Pillow talk, pillow talk, pillow talk, yeah. Pillow talk, pillow talk, pillow talk, pillow talk.